What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you missed the last video, I'll give you a little sneak peek of what you missed. So as you can see, we got the hood painted. We also painted the fender flares, grill, bunch of other stuff. Turned out really good. Starting to get the gun dialed in enough to get a decently flat finish. But today on the agenda, I want to get to work on this bed. We got this body damage back here pretty much ready to go, I believe. We got a couple coats of high build on it right now that we got to do a quick guide coat on and sand that flat, make sure everything looks really good with that. And then we got to unmask it all and get the rest of it ready for paint. So that just means basically go through, sand everything, clean everything. I'm gonna leave the tailgate on and we're gonna paint that all as one. I am gonna pull the bed off just to make this job a lot easier. I'm gonna pull the bed off and throw it in the booth separate. So that's kind of the game plan today. We're gonna get on that back, get that sanded flat, and then go through, like I said, get the rest of this bed ready to go. Alright guys, you can see we got this blocked out, and all these low spots that were kind of right in through here, it was a little messed up. It blocked out really nice and flat. So we are good to go here. What I'm going to do now is just unmask this whole bed. I'll probably leave the rest of the truck masked, but unmask the whole bed. I'll probably go through with the DA, maybe 800 grit, and flatten it out with that first, and then I'll probably come back with a block 600 grit wet and just give it a nice flat even sand with 600 grit with water. So that's the best way I have found. And also I'm gonna pull these emblems off the tailgate. I'm not a huge fan of the emblem, so I'll pull that off, pull the tail light, and get this thing ready for paint. All right, guys, we got this all sanded out. That is how it should look, nice and flat. There's no texture, there's nothing shiny anywhere. So just keep going back over it until you get all the shine out and all the texture out. This bedside and the tailgate were actually repainted, so they had a lot more texture than this side. This side has not been painted, but we do have a couple of little issues on this side. So right here, you can see there was something happened here, and as soon as I sanded it, it was down to base coat. And what you do not want to do is spray fresh base coat on top of exposed cured base coat, because it can actually reactivate this base coat underneath and start bubbling it up. So you could epoxy it. I've actually heard of people just taking clear coat and coating it with clear coat, scuffing that up, and then you can do your base on top of that. And apparently that works a lot better than epoxy. Plus, we're not having to fight any different colors. So that's what I'm gonna do there. Just take a little bit of clear, just do a couple coats on this little area, and then once that cures up, we'll sand it flat. Another thing, when I had this thing at PDR to have all these little dents pulled out of the bed, you can't see it right now, but I'll throw some wax and grease remover on there, and you should be able to see it's a little bit wavy along the top here. Let's soak this thing down. I don't know if you'll be able to see on the camera, but right along that little 3-inch section above that body line, it's a little bit wavy. So what I think I want to do is just right along here, while we're waiting for that to dry anyway, is put a couple coats of high build on it and just block that out, just because it's gonna bug me and I know I can fix it. So I think that's the game plan. We'll mix up a little bit of clear for that spot, mix up some high build for that. And also, there was actually another couple dents down in here, so I might have to bring it down a little farther with that high build. But we'll get it on there, get it blocked out, and actually have a nice, flat, and straight bedside. This side was really, really straight, so we don't need any work there. There was actually a little ding on the tailgate right there. I might actually throw a little bit of filler or a little bit of high build on that just to cover that up. I can barely feel it, but since we're doing primer, I might as well fix that as well. Alright guys, got the clear coat and primer down. One thing I'm going to do while that stuff is drying up, before I forget about it completely, is I want to tint this little third brake light. I'm not going to go super dark. I still want kind of a little bit of red showing through, but I want to clean it up with just a little bit of tint. So I got some Omni base coat in black and then some Omni clear. What you got to do is mix up the clear like you usually would, mix up the base coat like you usually would, reduce it, and then mix a little bit of the black into the clear, and then do a couple coats of that. And you want to leave a little bit of straight clear coat in one of your mixing cups, and when you're all done, empty out the gun, throw in some straight clear, and shoot another coat of straight clear over the top. So let's do that real quick while we're waiting for that primer and clear to harden up. All right, we finally got that thing done. The first time I was trying to spray it, the spray from the gun made it flip on its front and screwed it all up. So I had to wipe it all down with reducer, but we got it done and I'm liking the way that looks. So we are just waiting, probably wait till tomorrow to get out and sand all this flat. So that spot there, and then obviously the primer and clear coat up there, we'll sand all that flat and then we can bring it in here. I got this all cleaned up, washed it out with water. I'll probably do it again before we throw this thing in there and get it ready for paint. All right, we got the bed all masked off and ready to go. We got it wiped down. I'm gonna do one more wipe down with the window cleaner. So kind of the game plan with base coat, I'm gonna go through, hit the primer areas first, a coat or two to get it mostly covered, and then we'll probably do 2 coats of base over the entire bed just to make sure the color is 100% matched, and then we'll go into clear. Alright guys, we are done. It's a day later. This stuff is, it dries actually fairly quick. It's probably been, I don't know, 14, 16 hours. And it seems actually pretty hard. But honestly, I'm a little disappointed with how this clear laid out. Everything else looks really good. But the orange peel I'm having a big issue with. And it's not that I'm not consistent. It's kind of everywhere. The orange peel, you can see this side too, looks right about the same. So I'm not really sure what's going on. I have tried everything. I guess the good thing is the bodywork looks really, really good down here. This corner, there's a nice piece of dirt right there. So we're gonna have to cut and buff this either way. But as far as the bodywork goes, I'm very, very happy with how that turned out. Well, like I said, guys, I have tried just about everything to get this clear to lay out. I've tried all the different tip sizes. I've tried the different air caps, different pressures. I've tried 6 inches from the panel. I've gone all the way up to like 3, very close 3 inches from the panel, and nothing I do seems to help this clear layout. So not really sure. It's obviously something with my technique or my gun setup, but I haven't been able to nail it down yet. The only thing I can think of is I have always sprayed my other gun, which was a 1.4 tip, and I actually haven't tried the 1.4 on this gun. I've tried the 1.2 and the 1.3, but I have not tried the 1.4. So I don't know, when I go on the cab, I might try it. I've always got a pretty decent outcome with the other gun with the 1.4. So maybe I'm just going too fast for a 1.3 and it's getting that peel. I'm not really sure, but we gotta figure out something. We gotta dial it in. I really don't want to spend a whole lot of time cutting and buffing. Yeah, we're gonna have to do either way because we're getting dirt in the paint like usual, but I don't want to spend a ton of time flattening out the clear coat. So when I noticed this one was kind of turning out like crap, I actually put 4 coats of clear on it just so we got enough clear after we go through and sand it flat. We still got enough clear in the box and not have to worry about it. So we're gonna give this a few days. Honestly, in a couple days before we paint the rest of the truck, I might actually get in here and try to sand this thing flat and buff it out and see how it looks. It's just really bugging me. Every time I look at it, it bugs me more. So I kind of want to get this thing fixed. But either way, that is going to wrap up this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Go smash that thumbs up button, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.